This week's Voice from the Past features a British singer who was popular throughout the 40s, 50s, 60s and 70s. A singing career that spanned more than 50 years.
My lily
She was a big favourite with airmen, soldiers and sailors in the 40s, a regular in the UK charts in the 50s and 60s, and a concert favourite in the 1970s. Behind the scenes, she was popular with her show business colleagues too. Her name is Anne Shelton. Anne Shelton made her first record with Jack Hylton and his orchestra in 1936. It was called Moanin' Minnie and recorded under her real name, Pat Sibley. It wasn't a big hit, and Anne later grew to hate the recording. She wasn't pleased when in later years she heard it featured on BBC Radio.
And now I want to introduce the little lady with a grand smile, Anne Shelton of Dulwich.
Anne was much happier with her first broadcast on the BBC on the 30th of May 1940 in a programme called Monday Night at 8.
All the world's a stage, they say. We all have our parts to play. I've played mine, but where am I? Do I laugh or cry? Let the curtain come down.
That opportunity to broadcast for the BBC back in those dark days of the war proved highly fortunate for me, for listening to that broadcast was Ambrose, Ammy, or as I always called him, Mr. Ambrose. He heard that broadcast, and he invited my mummy and I to come to the Mayfair to give me an audition to sing with his orchestra. He asked me did I know the song they were rehearsing, and I said yes, and he said, "What key do you sing it in?" I didn't know there were such things as keys. I thought you use them to open doors. So he said, well, try it on for size. I sang it in the key of F.
Anne Shelton fondly remembered doing that audition at the Mayfair. She recalled standing at the microphone, still dressed in her school uniform.
When they begin, the begin.
This recording led to Ambrose signing up Anne Shelton in an exclusive contract to sing with his band.
By that time, I was beginning to be quite an experienced broadcaster too. The BBC African Service began a series of shows that were aimed to our boys who had been caught up in the Siege of Malta. You know, for quite some time, we were the only link our boys had with the outside world and the folks back home. I was given my own show, Introducing Anne. It was directed chiefly to the troops in the North African desert. For my signature tune, I used a song which had already become a big hit with the German troops and was even beginning to be popular with our lads too. So we had an English lyric put to it by Tommy Connor. Our version soon overtook Lala Anderson, and that's how I became known as the Lily Marlene Girl.
Underneath the lantern.
Anne Shelton's success during the 1940s continued with concerts and broadcasts, including one with one of her great heroes, Glenn Miller. Another one of Anne Shelton's heroes was Bing Crosby. They appeared together on a radio programme called Variety Bandbox.
And how about you and I taking a whack at a duet? You think we could handle it? I'll try it. I don't want to louse you up, but you think we... All right?
For years I've been dreaming of this.
Oh, get out. Go ahead, Jack. Lay it on us.
We had the most marvellous gag on stage. None of it was rehearsed. He just bet me 2 bob he could kiss me without touching me. And I said, you can kiss me without touching me? He said, sure, I bet you 2 bob. And he kissed me. I said, but you touch me. He said, and here's your 2 bob. When Bing came back, after the war, years after the war, he phoned me. And I hadn't seen him, remember, from the age of 16. Now I was married and grown up. And what do you say to someone you haven't seen for so long? Mr. Crosby, I didn't know. He just said, hi, Anne. I said, hiya, Bing. And it was like back in those days. He invited my husband, my sister, and I to go to the Palladium to see him. We went backstage. We met Bing, his wife, Kathy. And he said, Anne, let's do the gag we did about the 2 bob bit. And he did. He kissed me. And he was looking for a 2-shilling piece to give me, and I looked at him and said, "Would you like the original?" And he looked, he said, "You really kept it?" I said, "Would I part with it?" And 2 tears came down those beautiful blue eyes. He planned that we would do some LPs together when he came back, but as you all know, he passed away on the golf course, and I think that's the way he would like to go.
Anne's success continued throughout the 40s and into the 50s and 60s, when she recorded many a hit, including one produced by Joe Meek. Joe provided the marching sound effects using a box of dried peas. The result was Anne Shelton's big hit.
Lay down your arms and surrender to mine.
In the 1970s, the chart-topping hits may have dried up, but Anne Shelton continued to perform in live concerts at home and abroad. She continued to appear on radio and television, including a broadcast from the Pier Theatre in Shanklin on the Isle of Wight. In 1978, Anne Shelton appeared in her 3rd Royal Variety performance. In 1990, she was appointed OBE for her work with the Not Forgotten Association, a charity dedicated to helping disabled former service personnel from all wars, and although she died in 1994, she's still fondly remembered today. We'll end with one of her lesser-known records. As far as I can tell, it's a very rare recording and doesn't seem to be available on any of the usual streaming services. It's another duet. Not Bing this time, but Anne is singing with the man who first published the songs by Lennon and McCartney. Anne Shelton and Dick James.
I heard a melody the night that we first met.
A haunting melody that seems to linger yet. Whenever I'm alone, the music comes to me.
Like our dream of love, it wasn't meant to be. And once again we glide to every magic strain.
And I hold heaven close within my arms again. And though it's just a dream,
A bit of bittersweet is still our melody, a waltz that he. Gay, gay is the music, though we are worlds apart.
why should this music bring teardrops to my heart? I'll dance with a memory while I reminisce tonight. I'll drink a toast to the ghost of our last kiss. Why is this melody forever haunting me?
When you're not wanting me to be your own.
If you have a voice from the past you'd like us to feature, please let us know in the comments below.
I hear it everywhere, the music of despair.
And yet a joy